Hello and welcome back to this episode of the Schmidt Show Garage. Today, unfortunately, working on the tow vehicles slash work vehicles because I had a little issue. I've had numerous of these Dodges in my time. We're actually working on my 3500. 1 ton this morning, started on it last night, got a little aggravated, dropped a bolt and couldn't find it. Also have a 3/4 ton 5-speed Cummins. Hood's up over there, had to double check something. Been a while since I've done this repair. So what happened to me yesterday on the way to work is I'm driving on the highway and this truck is an automatic, my dually is, and it immediately felt like it felt like it died and downshifted, and I looked down and noticed the tach was dead, which I thought was odd. So put it in neutral, revved it up, truck's still running, you know, as normal with a diesel. It'll pretty much stay running once you get it running. And I started doing some thinking, and it reminded me, although the AC doesn't work in this truck, when this happened on my other truck, my generator light came on, which is what I noticed on this. The generator light didn't come on, but the voltage dropped and the tach dropped on and I lost overdrive. On my 5-speed Cummins, I didn't lose any overdrive because I was able to drive home from when it happened. It just turned like, I just noticed because it turned the air conditioner off and had that weird smell going on when you don't have AC, and my tach quit working on that. So I did some research. It ended up being what I call an engine speed sensor. That's what Cummins calls it. Local part stores are calling it a crank position sensor. So pretty easy fix on a Cummins. It is located right, I just got cleaned up here, but it is located right here up front. It's mounted right on top of the harmonic balancer. Mounts on a little bracket. Looks like this. It's a very greasy job if you're ever used to a Cummins, but it's just 2 bolts that hold it on, 1 bolt that goes to the cover, and that. It's honestly probably about a 35-minute job in a clean atmosphere, but all my junk leaks, so I was elbows deep in grease, and then dropped my bolt last night that holds the harness against the block, and that kind of aggravated me for a little bit. I tried finding it, couldn't find it, and just gave up last night. Got cleaned up, came out first thing this morning. Probably within 15 or 20 minutes I'd found a bolt that I had. And naturally, as soon as I put that bolt in and got it going and just bumped the motor over, I heard the bolt fall. So it was obviously sitting on the balancer like I thought, but I couldn't find it. So I got lucky in that aspect and was able to roll it over. I just bumped it a couple times just to see if anything was going to fall off. I looked everywhere. I looked in the fan shroud. It wasn't on the ground. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I was pretty aggravated about that. But I did put it back in once I found it. So it is put back together just the way it came apart. So if you have that issue with a Dodge, basically that's what's going to happen. You'll be driving along, your AC is going to go out, your tach's going to drop to 0, your generator light's going to come on, but the truck's going to run. It'll get you home, unless you have an automatic like I did, and then you lose high gear or overdrive, and then you're 50 miles an hour, and that kind of sucks. So didn't have that problem in my other truck, high speed, so I was able to keep on going. Yeah, I actually see the sensor a little better on my other truck for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I don't know why it's cleaner, because this one's got almost 600,000 on it. But it is located right there. There's the bolt. The bracket goes on for the cable, and then the sensor is I don't know if I can get down in there. Anyway, it's right there next to the water pump. You can't miss it. It's super easy. So actually, I'm going to plug you the part number that I use. So I called around. I'm very adamant about using Cummins parts on my diesels, just because, you know, naturally that stuff was on there from the get-go. And that truck bought with 77,000 miles. It's got 565,000 on. I just bought this one with 225. I got 238 on it now. Let me grab this. Alright, so PC260 at O'Reilly's. It was a standard ignition part. It was like 38 bucks. AutoZone was a little more. They didn't have one in stock. And called up Cummins, which I can actually give the Cummins number if you'd like that too. In fact, I will give that to you. But it was 280 bucks, and then they wanted another 80 to ship it directly to me, or I could have picked it up. So that was kind of a... And if you want the Cummins part number, that's it right there. But that one's 280. Standard ignition is also sold at my step-up part stores around here. Not really a chain, but more of a one that caters to shops. So that's what I got for you today. Engine speed sensor, some people call it. That's what I call it. But it's listed as a crank position sensor. But I believe Cummins calls it an engine speed sensor. ESS is what they call it. But be careful when you ask for that at the parts store, because it'll give you the one that has parts for the transmission. And you don't want the one that goes in the transmission. You want the one that mounts on the motor. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. No Name Nationals 2024 coming at you. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.